Alrighty guys, it is Quadman here today, and as always, if you haven't caught up to Dragon Ball Super episode 127 and 128, this video will contain spoilers, but to tell you guys the honest truth, I mean, this is something that's kind of been going on for the last couple of weeks now. So without wasting any more time, let's get straight into this video, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about Frieza, but if you don't want to get spoiled, then I suggest you get off the video. Well, anyways, getting back to the point here, guys. I want to talk to you guys about Frieza, and I had a dream. Well, I didn't really have a dream, but I have this feeling in my core, in my mind, in my heart, in my body. I feel like Frieza is going to win the Tournament of Power. And I know that I made a video a few weeks ago when I talked about how Frieza has like this contingency plan to defeat Jiren. But to tell you guys the honest truth, although that's still a possibility, I feel like that's kind of being thrown out of the window, because when I made that video, there were 4 characters that were left in the Tournament of Power with Goku, Vegeta, 17, and Frieza. And in Dragon Ball Super episode 127, if you guys remember, Frieza did briefly show up, fought Jiren for like 20 seconds, and then got wrecked. Well, actually, it's probably less than 20 seconds, because if you go with the cinematic timing, if an episode is about 20 minutes and Frieza fought Jiren for 20 seconds in the Dragon Ball Super time, then that was probably like 0.5 of a second in like Dragon Ball Super time. But you guys are getting the picture of what I'm talking about here. Frieza showed up, attacked Jiren, and got knocked out again, the same way that he got knocked out when he was fighting against Toppo. And I seriously feel like the fan base, including myself, are kind of sleeping on Frieza, which is why I'm going to put that image of Frieza laying on the ground, because I think that thumbnail completely visualizes what I'm talking about in this video. I think that we are sleeping on this, guys, because let's think about the logic of storytelling, okay? When I recorded that video, there were 4 people fighting. Now there's 2. Why on earth would the Toei staff or Dragon Ball Super in general have Frieza still fighting? Because 17 gave his life to protect Goku and Vegeta, so he already, had his major moment. Gohan lost to Dispo, 18 sacrificed herself for 17, Vegeta sacrificed himself for Goku. So every character to this point has either given their fighting spot to protect somebody else, or just lost because of the natural, progression of a team needing to lose fighters throughout the Tournament of Power. So with just Goku and Frieza left, there's clearly a reason as to why Frieza has to be left over. And although this is extremely wacky, guys, I think that the one way we can see this working is that Dragon Ball Super can pull a Universe 6 tournament wacky moment the same way that they did with Manaka. So, can you guys imagine a scenario, not exactly like Universe 6, but a scenario in which Goku forces Jiren out of the Tournament of Power and it's a double knockout, and because Frieza was technically still in the ring, Universe 7 wins because Frieza was the last character that's left, and because Frieza's the last character that's left, then obviously Frieza will help Universe 7 win, because even if he doesn't technically win the Tournament of Power, he still won because his body was in the ring. And I can legitimately see this happening. Dragon Ball has had a history of doing extremely wacky things at times, and I don't think it's impossible to believe that this is a key reason as to why Frieza can help win the Tournament of Power. But then we could also go back to the contingency route, which I've already ruled out, but there's still that slight chance that Frieza can turn on Goku and Frieza can find a way to knock out Jiren to help Universe 7 win. And the thing I gotta say here, guys, is the reason I rule this out is because why would Frieza knock out an Ultra Instinct Goku or this mastered Ultra Instinct Goku if he knows in his head, because Frieza's very smart, he knows that he is not strong enough to fight against Jiren? Which means that Frieza needs Goku to fight against Jiren for him, as he said before. If you guys remember, when Goku originally fought against Jiren, Frieza gave Goku his energy because he specifically said, I need you in that Ultra Instinct thing to fight against this guy. So Frieza is well aware that he cannot fight Jiren one-on-one, and he needs Goku to help fight against Jiren, which obviously means that Frieza would not want to get rid of Goku, because that means that his plan is not going to come into fruition. But then there are those people who are going to say, that Frieza obviously has like this evil scheme where he's gonna knock out Goku in the end, be the key fighter, and then make his wish. But the thing is, guys, you gotta start doing the math. There are 3 episodes left of Dragon Ball Super. We just finished 128, which means 129, 130, and 131 are the episodes that are left. And as of right now that I'm recording this video, spoilers have not come out about those upcoming episodes. So until those spoilers come out, which is probably going to spoil what's going to happen with Frieza, we have to assume that there's really not that much time. Because 129 is going to obviously feature Goku fighting against Jiren, right? And if you guys know anything about how Dragon Ball always promotes their episodes, and you guys can definitely agree with me on this, because I think everybody can agree, Dragon Ball always does this thing, and this is in all their anime too, it's not just Dragon Ball, but Dragon Ball always has this thing where they show you the awesome, cool moment in like the last minute of the episode. And that last minute of the episode is going to hype up the next episode after that. Which means, if we're doing the math, 129 is going to feature Goku fighting Jiren as an Ultra Instinct. And then, late in the episode, Goku's going to go into his mastered Ultra Instinct state, and then that's going to hype out the episode after that. Which means that Dragon Ball Super episode 130, we're already to the last final 2 episodes, 130 is probably going to feature this mastered Ultra Instinct state, and then 131 is going to be the conclusion of the tournament, possibly wishing back everybody else, or Dragon Ball Super just goes on a hiatus, but we have to assume 131 is where everything is going to conclude. So because of this, do you have enough time and episodes to really hype up Frieza as this villain that has his own contingency plan? And my honest thoughts on that is no. I just don't think that there's really enough time for Frieza to have like this subplot drawn out arc for him to resurrect himself and to help Universe 7 win. And to tell you guys the honest truth, I think Frieza's gonna help Universe 7 win. You know, I don't think the story is going to bring Frieza back to life because it has to tie into the end of Z, and although Frieza does not exist in the end of Z, we have to assume that he was dead the same way he was at the end of Z, so in all likelihood, Frieza has to end up staying dead, which means I don't think that you could do something too major with Frieza this late to really affect the plot anyways. You know what I mean? And it just doesn't feel right to have done this now. If you were ever going to do this, you should have done it episodes ago when you had both Frieza and Frost around, and then maybe they would have had like their moment where they were turning on the Universe 7 fighters, and although Frieza did that in a joking way with Gohan to try and trick Frost, it never really amounted to anything because Frieza knocked out Frost anyway, so it ultimately didn't work out for Frieza in that instance. So that's definitely a wacky way that I can definitely see Frieza helping to win the Tournament of Power. And if you guys want me to put my final thoughts on this, guys, we just have to think about the Tournament of Power's promotion, right? Frieza was one of the most anticipated fighters of the Tournament of Power. Remember, a lot of people had a problem with him even joining Universe 7's team in the first place because many people thought, why are you going to reuse a villain that's been reused a quadrillion times throughout Dragon Ball history, and what on earth is Frieza going to do? And looking at it from that point of view, Frieza still has to have that hoorah. He still has to have that final moment where you say Frieza made a major impact, because there's no other reason why Frieza would be lasting this long. And if you guys think about it, why would you have brought Frieza back to the Tournament of Power other than to resell toys, or just to have him around? Like, Frieza's not a normal character like Tien and Krillin or, you know, Gohan that's been around the Dragon Ball group for years. He's a villain, and he has to go out with a bang. So if Frieza were to lose, he has to lose probably in the next episode, and to tell you guys the honest truth, I just don't see that happening. I feel like Frieza is going to stay all the way till the end. I feel like Frieza is going to survive the Tournament of Power, and I feel like Goku is going to lose. I feel like Goku is going to lose to Jiren, because if you think about it, That is probably the most predictable ending in the history of Dragon Ball Super, that Goku has this final clash with Jiren and beats him in the end. I think it's ridiculously predictable, and I think that Dragon Ball has had a tendency to give you a wacky ending that you don't predict. And if I am wrong about this, guys, I'm making this crystal clear. If I am wrong about this major prediction, a month from now when Dragon Ball Super is on its hiatus and when Dragon Ball Super takes its break, I want you guys to call me an idiot. Feel free to insult me. Feel free to say your prediction was wrong. Feel free to say everything, because I feel like the gods of Dragon Ball are talking to me and saying that Frieza is going to be the one to win this, guys. I feel it. It's in my heart. It's in everything. I feel like I've never been so confident about an ending to Dragon Ball the way I am with this one. And if I'm wrong, call me out on it. So with everything else said, please remember to rate, comment, subscribe. And remember, as I always say, to have a great day, guys. And let me know what you think is going to happen with Frieza.